Oh, sorry, I was on mute. I didn't want you guys to get too culture shocked back into this in-person thing. So how many of you missed driving through a snowstorm to get here tonight? How many of you kept your snow tires on just in case? All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all of our honored guests here tonight. As Mark so eloquently stated, it is really good to see you. I really miss this. I didn't realize how much until I was here tonight, but I really miss seeing all of you. I want to start by acknowledging the amazing LSO team. Brian, Penny, Andy, Chalani, Cindy, and Rob, you are the engine that kept LSO running over the past 2+ years, and it's your dedication and hard work and adaptability that I'd really like to call out and recognize tonight. Thank you for all that you do. Boy, when I think back to that snowy winter night in February 2020, when we last gathered here together, who knew that only a week later the world would stop? And then all eyes would turn to us. They would turn to us for protection, for solutions, for understanding, and most importantly, for hope. And boy, did we ever deliver. Over the past 2+ years, our sector has provided PPE, diagnostic tools, ventilators, vaccines, therapeutics, and so much more against the fight against COVID-19. We showed the world just how valuable our sector is, and that there is no economic security without a healthy population. This was our time to shine, and we did. The pandemic has shown the world and our political leaders what we all knew all along, that life sciences is the most important sector when it comes to securing our future well-being and prosperity. But the pandemic also exposed some gaps in health equity, food security, data infrastructure, mental health, long-term care, healthcare capacity, domestic manufacturing, and our presence or lack thereof in global supply chains. And we must address these gaps and do better to face the challenges ahead. And there are still many more challenges ahead of us. Economic recovery, surgical backlogs, again, mental health, the impacts of delayed diagnosis and treatments, and long COVID. These are all challenges we still have yet to face. The pandemic was just the beginning, and in order to be successful, we need to learn from our experiences over the past few years. We need a different and more strategic approach. You know, Quebec, Ontario, and Canada have all recognized this by announcing life sciences strategies, but we're not alone in doing so, and in fact, we're probably late to the game. But we have many strengths to build on, and we can be globally competitive if we make some fundamental and cultural shifts. The first step will be to change the focus of our health systems from one of cost to one of value. And the only way to do this is by harnessing the power of health data to measure real outcomes for patients and to inform decision-making. We also need to ensure that inclusion, diversity, equity, and accessibility are embedded into everything that we do. And this requires leadership from all of us, including the academic community, industry, and our political leaders. And it must be embedded in how we deliver care across every community in our province and our country. We also need to be early adopters of innovation, providing early access to the best new technologies for Canadians, and we need to embrace a One Health approach that recognizes the links between environmental, zoonotic, and human health, one that recognizes that wellness, prevention, and early interventions are the keys to success. And it's these principles that LSO will continue to advocate for, and we will work with you and our policy leaders to develop and implement. You know, we know our frontline health workers are absolutely exhausted, and our public service is exhausted, and many of you in the room are exhausted from the fight against COVID-19. But this is the time when some of our hardest work needs to happen. Not necessarily the type of work that has happened in the public spotlight over the last couple of years, but rather the kind of determined, diligent work that will set the stage for the future of life sciences in Canada, and I know we are up to the task. Thank you very much, and it's great to be back.